So if you look at this, right? So it's like swinging back and forth, right? Notice how at the end of the ult, you can move it a lot more than at the center of the ult, right? But yeah, this is why it's like important to understand. So it's like here, you're moving your ult from here to here, or this one, you're moving it from like here to here, right? So you notice there's like a bigger range in which you can move it, which gives you a bigger advantage, right?
According to YouTube, I do not have enough subscribers to sustain myself. So please like and subscribe. And if you want a coaching session, click the top link in the bio. Otherwise, sit back and take some notes and enjoy the video.
Okay. First thing. Start of the game. We have no idea what we want to do. There's 3 seconds left on the clock. We don't have a strat that we're going with in our head. Got a cute little penguin that we're spraying. So that's cool. But yeah, we literally don't know what we're trying to do here. We don't know what we're trying to accomplish. Ghost Shocks is fine, but we're not fighting for any neutral space. We're just like shooting this dart. And when you think about this dart, right, it's like, what does it actually do? It gets us information. What the fuck? It gets us information that our teammates are already fighting for because we don't calm what we're trying to do. So it's kind of troll.
Still run A because our bot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, still A.
So this is good. But like what you need to be doing is telling your KO to rotate, right? So this, like you actively going to this position, it's a little bit risky to try to like cross and go here. Also, this dart is worthless, by the way. This dart, like even if you scan somebody top mid, you already just heard somebody shoot top mid. So you know they're top mid still. So you throwing this dart doesn't really make any sense, right? The biggest thing that I noticed like immediately was like when you threw this dart here at 45 seconds, there's no value in it, right? Because you already know one's top mid. So this isn't actually getting you anything additional. It's not telling you that like they still could be B, they still could be A. So it doesn't really matter. We don't need to throw this dart. We should save it for in case they run out A, and then we can spam them through a smoke, right? That it'd be more valuable that way, just to hold on to the dart. Also, when you're taking these fights mid, when you're 5v3, you don't want to be like actively looking to take the fight. You just want to be jiggling for info. Okay, never, and I mean never, have tracker.gg open. Delete this right now. This is so bad for your mental. It's so bad for your performance. The only thing it does is hurt you. It does not help you. Delete that. Not helpful. Also, at the start of rounds, you need to start coming up with plans. You are at the start of every round, you're kind of just like AFK. Like you should already know what you want to do going into the round, and then you should be communicating with your team, and you should have your plan like calmed like 15 seconds pre. So it's like, I'm gonna play B, I'm gonna spam early, right? And that's all you need to say, right? Something super helpful. You should calm whenever you're using utility. You should always calm like, hey, I'm droning. Get ready for spam, right? That sort of thing. That's like important. And you should also call them like, hey, I have dart in 7, so that way they know. My question is like, when you throw these darts, like you don't know why you're throwing it. Like you're just throwing them for raw information. Same thing as the Fade player I just coached. It was Plat, right? You're throwing the dart for the information, then you don't want to do with it. You kind of have an idea, like, okay, I'm throwing this dart, then I'm probably gonna lean towards B, or maybe I'm gonna pick up tree, right? But like, you're not throwing it with the like definitive intention, right? It's like, okay, maybe I want to throw dart A. Like you're starting. Okay, so this is a big problem too. You're starting here. I'll show you. You're starting back here. And you're throwing this dart for A main. I don't know what the fuck dart you just threw, but you're throwing whatever dart for main, right? And it's landing, and then like you just like give up all the neutral space. Like you don't fight for anything. Like you're not fighting for A main. You're not looking to take A main. You're not actively looking to fight for anything. And then you go tree here. And you're like, okay, well now I'm here, right? It's like, I mean, you could have just started here, and then you could have saved dart for run out. So when they run out, you can throw dart. Like there's no reason to always throw your dart at the start of the round, especially if you're going to be playing tree, because odds are they'll give you the space anyway. Like they'll tell you if they're A main anyway. So there's no real reason to like dart off the start if they're giving away their position right away. Okay, we have our ult, so we should come up with a plan with our ult, right? These people kind of go tiles a lot, so now if you wanted to throw that dart for tiles and like look for an ult kill off the start, that'd be a good play, right? Now it's like, now we have our ult, like we want to do something with it. So I hope we use it this round. Whenever we have guns, they have guns, we just want to use our ult.
We don't.
I guess if we're looking to ult A main, okay.
Revealing area.
Okay.
I've got your track.
I like this.
There they are.
I like the idea, the concept of it, but I'd rather see you, I'd rather see you do this than ult there. Like, I don't mind it, like, it could work out. I don't even know what dart you threw, you just threw a random dart, but, like, whatever dart you threw, like, cool. The issue with this is look how close you are to ulting them. Like, they have to be, if they do not commit to this A main space, you essentially just won't get a kill. I would rather see this dart where you throw it here. I don't know what dart it is, but it's the one where you throw back wall, essentially. And just like this.
Revealing area.
Right? You throw the start and it lands back wall. And I'd rather see you ult from like here.
Right here.
And just like ping, like ult like this.
Ult is ready.
I think it's just typically better. In case you don't know, the way Sova's ult works, it's like a pendulum, right? So you know what a pendulum, like a clock, right? Okay, so here you go. So if you look at this, right? So it's like swinging back and forth, right? Notice how at the end of the ult, you can move it a lot more than at the center of the ult, right? But yeah, this is why it's like important to understand. So it's like here, you're moving your ult from here to here, or this one, you're moving it from like here to here, right? So you notice there's like a bigger range of which you can move it, which gives you a bigger advantage, right? Notice the line difference, which makes it easier to track your targets. No, just spam, just spam. Your dart can be used for when they're running out / when they're in A main already. You don't need to throw your dart at the start in order to spam. Like you can literally just spam at the start. You'll be surprised at how much more often you'll get kills, right? Because you can just transition into a spam. You just gotta tell your KO to watch the B main run out, and that's all you have to do.
Get out of my way!
One suppressed.
See, now you know one suppressed. You could have shot your dart at the top and then spammed this Reyna. It would have been better. You don't calm too much. You definitely
30
need to calm
seconds
more.
left.
You're playing Sova, and the thing about playing Sova Fade is calms are super important. Right? So it's like when you're throwing your dart, like, hey, I'm darting for you to spam through the smoke, like that's super important, those sort of things. Like what you're doing with the utility, it's called action comms, right? So you need to start taking advantage of those more on Sova. Close the door here. You actually, okay, here's the crazy part. You don't want to close the door here because of two things. One, it gives away your position so they know where you are. And then two, it allows this person to escape through market. So you just like hard hold them. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you spammed off the start here, you would have just gotten free kills. Also, when you're spamming, fun fact, the closer you are to the wall, the bigger the disadvantage you are. So when you start going to higher elos, what people do on this map is they start buying Odins to counter spam you. And if you're close to the wall, you're spamming close to the wall, they just shoot at your bullets, they get free kills, right? So you typically want to be far away as possible when spamming. For example, like when you're spamming, you kind of want to spam like this, or you want to spam like this. You don't want to be right into the wall. Also, when you're spamming here, like when you did the areas, this is like way better, right? Going here, it allows you to have a higher probability of winning that spam battle. It's like here, like once again, it's like we're throwing the start here, but it's like, why are we throwing the start? Like, what advantage does it give us? Like, we're not able to spam anything. I mean, I guess our Reyna's kind of fighting it. Something you can do that's actually really good would be to play Sova, and when you have the Odin or Ares, if they go tiles a lot, like this enemy team has, you can cross early and throw your dart on this wall right here, and then you can pre-shoot and like start spamming and like breaking this and kill them with the spam. Something fun that you can do that a lot of ranked players don't know. Cross like this, oh, you don't fuck it up, right? And you'll throw it when it's a 2-bar, so you don't need to throw it when it's full, and you start spamming. The biggest problem with us, right, we can just go ahead and skip to defense now, because I figured it out. The biggest problem with us is our utility usage. You kind of just like want perfect information all the time, which is really bad. We don't calm pre-round, we don't calm mid-round enough. Like we say some things here and there, but we're definitely not talking enough, right? We need to be actively trying to calm more. Our mechanics are actually pretty solid, which is really cool. And then just some small things that we talked about as well. But those are the big issues. So let's go to attack and see what we got.
You can go.
1 CT.
3 rotating already.
I think loud, so door.
3's rotating.
It's fine. As your team's execing, okay, you should always have a plan in your head of like what you're going to do going into the round, of like your utility sequence, right? So for example, let's say you want to drone here. That's fine. If you want to drone here, this is okay, but you don't need to drone from here. And the reason why we don't need to drone from here is we have a KO. Right, so the KO is going to clear our close angles, right? So he's going to clear like this, and since he knifes like this, you want to know what that allows us to do? We can run up close, right? And our drone will get a lot more value. So we can go like this, right? And we can clear everything with our drone because we have a KO, right? And then we can clear this, and we're good. And then all we need to do is just start sight. Oh, mechanics!
Last player.
Oh! Yeah, our mechanics are not the issue. Utility sequence there. Like, create our plan, understand why we're trying to do things, right? Like, you lack the thought process. You have the mechanics, but you lack the thought process behind why you do things, which makes us really weak. Right, like even this, like throwing the start, like why would you want to throw a dart from here when in reality you can just go close and be close to your teammates, right? Like it doesn't make sense unless your team's like turbo sprinting. Like unless your team's going super fast, there's no reason you'd ever want to throw a dart from here, right? Or whatever dart you're gonna throw. Maybe that's the dart you're throwing. I don't know. trying to get it to land on here or whatever. Like it would just literally be better to throw your dart so it lands under this window like this, so it scans all of sight. Like this would just be a better dart, right? And then you'd be closer as well, right? You'd be in A main and you'd be able to support your teammates, you know? What is mutual space? It's called neutral space, not mutual space. Neutral space is the area in between barriers. So the idea behind neutral space is you want to fight for the space that isn't given to you. So this is neutral space, this is neutral space, and then this is neutral space. There's also certain values behind neutral space. So for example, fighting for mid neutral space by yourself, like solo, unless you have an op, is really bad because the risk versus reward isn't worth it. Let's say you're an Omen, you peek this shit, and then you die. Your team's out smokes, and then a lot of pressure is created, like you force rotation. But for example, if you're playing Omen A, right, and you're one-waying this, now you're effectively fighting for neutral space, which is really good, right? And then let's say they take this from us, then we can just smoke this off, and yeah, like they took the space from us, but we forced them to use utility early, and now we have this, and now we have a bubbled out smoke that they have to worry about, right? And then we also have our blind set up, so it's like as they come out, like we could just blind this, right? For us to take A main space, what do we need? We just need a KO knife, right? Like a KO knife would literally take this A main space, it's the same thing at B. And then we wouldn't need a drone right here, and we could drone from like close, right? So we can be droning from, we literally could just be droning from here and getting way more value out of our drone because of the utility we have on our team, right? Also, it's super easy to take A main. Instead of droning like this, right? It's actually super easy that if you don't have a KO, you can just go like this, right? You can one charge. Oh wait, is that it? Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you literally just go into this corner, press yourself against the barrier, just go like this. There you go. You have a dart that's scanning all of A main, and then if they don't break it, you just take the space for free, right? You don't, and then you can walk up, and then you can drone from close where your team scales out, and then you have an excuse to bait your teammates, right? Hey, I'm clearing. Nothing close left. Nothing close right. Nothing Tetris. Nothing shed. I don't see anything dice. Nothing gen. There you go, right? That's like a really effective way to use your utility. I think overall, mechanically, you're a good player. Your utility usage is definitely a little bit shoddy. And then when it comes to your thought process, it's like that's the place that we need to work on the most, right? Super important.
Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below because God, I'd suck someone's dick to get put in the algorithm. YouTube, if you're watching this, just let me know.